2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2 2 1. Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 1 2.
Oh, good morning, Rose. Unajua good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
Testing 1, 2.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, let's just keep patient meanwhile as we are waiting for our chief guest. As we are waiting patiently, our police band will continue giving us some entertainment. So, patient please, as we await. Thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as we are still waiting for our chief guest, just to give you some information, some housekeeping things as we are with the team. One is that I hope all of you have taken a cup of tea because there's tea just behind you. And there will be no other time for us to take tea. So you should be able to have this particular opportunity to have a cup of tea. We have the washrooms on this other side. So those ones who need the washrooms. We also have another on the other end. Okay. So that is where you could be able to find those people who are still outside. Please come in. I think we are starting. So anybody who is outside, please join us. Wish also to recognize that we have a lot of this particular meeting or conference It's not only you who are here physically, but we also have a big online presence. So we are really happy, and we thank those who are joining us online. We recognize you to be an part and parcel of us. This particular conference is also attended by our key partners. So we recognize them, partners of CDC. We have representatives from JICA. We have the president of DNDI. We also have our senior management who are with us here. I think all our members of senior management are present. Then, of course, our board of directors are here with us, joining us in a very short while. We want to thank also the members of the Fourth Estate. Seeing we have the team from Citizen here, I think Nation TV, and various other houses that have actually joined us to be able to report on this particular event. So we thank you, and we recognize your presence. We don't want to forget the great job that our team has done. The KASH Conference Organizing Committee. As you are aware, this is the 12th one. And even during the COVID times, we did not pause. We continued with the tempo. So it's really very, very commendable that that team has brought us and given us this pride to be able to continue showcasing this particular event. So tunasema sana asante for management or the KASH Secretariat and the management for the support that they have given to this team to continue giving us this particular outcome. You see also on my left, we want also to recognize them. We have our police band. There is our police band from AP and Bakassi, led by Mr. Onesimus Manga. So we recognize your presence, and we are really happy that you are with us here today. If you can see your program, the program which you have, there's not much change in the program. It will flow as it has been written there. So when the chief guest arrives, we shall have the national anthem for both our country and East Africa, which will be played by the police band. Then Mr. Ngumo will lead us in a word of prayer. Then our new KASH chair, Cecilia Mbaye, will invite us to this particular conference and give us an overview. Then our AG, Acting Director General, Mr. Kariuki, will give his remarks. Then there's a change thereafter. Professor Kariuki will have Dr. Njoroge, who is the head of SHRIC, Scientific Research and Innovation Committee. In Kemri, this particular conference comes under a board subcommittee called SHRIC. And the chair of SHRIC is Dr. Njoroge. So there's going to be Dr. Njoroge will give a short remarks. Then invite the director of the board of directors, Tambinda. We will invite our chief guest. Then after our chief guest has made his remarks, we shall now go to the second part of our program. And this is the launch of the Kemri products. And during those launch of the Kemri products, we shall have a presentation from the experts themselves, because we want to know what they are launching. So we shall have a presentation from Dr. Damaris Matoke, who shall be able to give us a presentation on the PCR COVID kit and also on the plasma check MRDT kit of malaria. So she will be able to have some slides, which she's going to be able to portray and show to us. Then Dr. Wanjala, who is a commercial manager, will tell us how these particular items are going to move to the market, because we've launched products, but we also, our chief guests and all of you will want to know after we launch them, after we make them, what happens. So she's going to be able to give us an overview of that. Then we'll have the ISO certification. As you know, we are ISO certified. Quality is a major thing, and we are internationally recognized, and we have a certificate which are going to be able to be awarded. And our head of ISO, Mr. Mutinda, will be able to give us an overview of what that ISO entails. So we'll be able to get a talk from Mr. Mutinda about that. Then after Mutinda's, then the DG request the chief guest to now launch the products and then be handed the certificate, ISO certificate. Then with that, there will be a lot of display, so don't get too worried when you see a lot of display fireworks when you're going to be opening that. So that expect that, because it's an issue that we are very proud of. Immediately after that, we'll have the cake cutting led by Dr. Veronica Manduko. Then a vote of thanks. Then a prayer. Then we go for the photo session. The photo session, as I said, will be by the pool. And the photo session will request the chief guest. Will be the chief guest first with the board of directors, the KASH secretariat, the board of management, and the Kemri management. Then later on, then others can join in, plus the partners, of course. Then we'll be requesting also photo sessions between our innovators and the chief guest. So our innovators will have a time to be able to have a photo session with chief guest. That will be great indeed for your memory. So after that, we break up for lunch, and lunch has been served. So we'll be able to show where we're going for our lunch, letting you know in the meantime. And we shall end the day after that and wait for tomorrow's session. So that is just an overview. So there's not so much changes on the program that you have seen, except just some additions that we have made. So let's get ready as you're waiting for the chief guest. Please bear with us meanwhile. Okay, Mr. Manga, give us some music meanwhile. Our chief guest, Dr. Rashid Aman, the Chief Administrative Secretary at the Ministry of Health, Chairman, the Kemari Board of Directors, Dr. Daniel Mbinda, our Acting Director General, Professor Sam Kariuki, our distinguished partners and collaborators, members of the Fourth Estate, our distinguished guests, KASH Secretariat. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this 12th conference of KEMRI and the launch of our innovations, KEMRI products and ISO 9001 2015 certification. I can say You can see the program that you have before you. Don't have much more change of that. But without more ado, my name is Professor Elijah Songok. I'm the Director of Research Capacity Building at KEMRI, and will be the MC for today's program. I wish now to request, with the permission of the chief guest, that we stand for our national anthem. Thank you very much, Mr. Manga and your team. You may now be seated. Chief guest, with your permission, I may request Mr. Karis Ngumo to lead us in a word of prayer.
Kindly will ask you to be upstanding for a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, the maker of the heaven and the earth, as the words of the national anthem say, O God of our creation, bless this our land and nation. We ask that you bless this congregation as we meet today and deliberate on matters KASH. Bless the ceremonies and the chief guests and all the invited guests and everybody who is physically present and online. We ask that Heavenly Father, you be with us, starting now all the way to the end. In your great name we pray, and all God's children said, amen. God bless you. You have your seat.
Thank you, Karis. Here's our chief guest. As our program today, we have more than 500 guests that are here physically with us. And also we have a very big online presence. So we are very happy to have one of the biggest congregations for our conference. And this is the 11th one. So we are discussing, it has been on for the last 11 years since 2011. Even with the issues of COVID, we did not stop. So we are really very happy that you can join us on this as we continue with this tradition. Just don't want to take the words of the KASH Secretariat, who have been the champion of this. So I will wish to call on our able new chair of our KASH Secretariat, Dr. Cecilia Mbaye, to come over and give us an overview of the conference. And then afterwards, she will invite our Director General to give us his words of wisdom. Thank you very much. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Prof. Our chief guests, Dr. Rashid Haman, the Chief Administrative Secretary, Ministry of Health, the Chair of Board of Directors of KEMRI, Dr. Daniel Bida, our Acting DG, KEMRI, Professor Sam Karaoke, the board of directors, members who are present, and those who are joining us virtually, the senior KEMRI management team present, our partners, distinguished partners from all over the country and outside, the KASH organizing committee, the business manager from SGS, who is representing the CEO, the members of the fourth estate present from different media houses, the distinguished guests, our participants, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning again. It is my distinguished honor as the chair of KASH and privilege to welcome you all to the 12th KEMRI Annual Scientific and Health Conference, which is KASH 2022, which is being hosted physically as well as virtually from today 15th all the way up to Friday, the 18th of February, 2022. Over the last 12 years, the KASH conference and exhibition has continued to provide a premier platform, bringing together diverse actors in the health research. The 12th KASH conference main theme is building a resilient health sector through investments in data science, research evidence, technology, and innovation. And this is anchored on the following sub-themes. 1, strengthening health systems, mental health and other non-communicable diseases, child health, emerging and re-emerging infectious and parasitic diseases, prevention, control, and elimination, drug discoveries and therapeutics, and then essential sexual and reproductive and adolescent and maternal health, as well as climate change and zoonosis. The KASH conference is a strategic event within KEMRI's calendar of activities that brings together researchers, collaborators, both from local and international arena, as well as policy makers and other stakeholders in medical research. This year, we are expecting over 300 participants from various local, regional, and international institutions, which signifies the importance of this premier scientific event. The KASH conference continues to provide great opportunities for sharing, cross-learning, and mentoring of upcoming scientists, as well as providing a platform for the discussions of the current health research challenges, exchange of new knowledge that will ultimately shape the future of health research in Kenya, Africa, and indeed globally. This year's conference features a rich and diverse menu of scientific content in plenary discussions on topical issues in research health, hosted symposia and exhibitions. I'm happy to report that this year we received a record 204 abstracts, which underwent thorough review. And after that, we have a total of 188 abstracts in total, 116 of which will be presented as oral presentations and 19 as poster presentations. Besides this, there will be diverse opportunities to network with colleagues, form new acquaintances, and forge long-term partnerships, both in person and the virtual interactive forum as well. The conference will have distinguished keynote and plenary speakers who are world-class scientists with deep understanding and wealth of knowledge, not only in disease burden, but practical knowledge on appropriate health interventions. The opening keynote address this year will be given by our own member of board of directors, Dr. F. George Joroge, who will give a presentation of the joy of science, discovery of Victrelis, the first HCV protease inhibitor to be approved by Food and Drug Administration. The plenary speakers will be, among others, Professor Sam Kariuki, our own DG, who will be presenting on antimicrobial resistance, the next pandemic. The others, Dr. Frank Jenga, who is a renowned mental health specialist, who will be presenting on the subtheme mental health and other non-communicable diseases. And this topic will be no health without mental health. And in present days, you can agree with me that this is not a talk anybody wants to miss. Then we'll have Dr. Nelly Mogo, who is giving insight on the single-dose HPV vaccine efficacy. We have our own Professor Sami Jenga on current epidemiological status of lymphatic filariasis in Kenya and prospects for elimination as a public health problem. Dr. Sama Ketch will present on the malaria vaccine, the vaccine candidates and evidence behind WHO recommendation for wider use of the malaria vaccine. And finally, we'll have Dr. Lucas Nyabero Kimanga, who will present on genomics capacity building and strengthening. Why does it matter in Africa and indeed Kenya? As the local organizing committee, we are delighted in devoting ourselves to provide leadership, information, and capacity building, leading to the enhancement of human health and quality of life through dissemination of research findings, innovations, and service delivery. I encourage all participants to actively engage in the interesting explorations over the next 3 days and wish you a successful, fruitful, and a memorable experience during this 12th KASH conference. And before I finish, Chief Guest, allow me to introduce the members of the organizing committee from wherever they are. Please stand. The team that is behind the organizing of the conference. Please let's appreciate these people. They've done a good job. Thank you very much, team. And we'll be interacting with them over the next 3 days. Thank you very much indeed. At this point, it's my honor to invite our Acting Director General, Professor Sam Kariuki, so that he can give us his opening remarks. Karibu sana, Prof.
Thank you very much, Dr. Cecilia Mbai, our very new and very able chair of the KASH conference. Thank you very much. The Chief Administrative Secretary, Dr. Rashid Amani, who is our chief guest today, the Chairman, KEMRI Board of Directors, Dr. Daniel Minda, the KEMRI Board of Directors present, the Chair, KASH Conference Organizing Committee, Dr. Cecilia Mbai, and all plenary speakers, all my senior management colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Before I read my speech, I wish to particularly recognize some of our long-term partners and colleagues who are here, who have been with us for a long time in KEMRI. I see Dr. Mark from CDC. Thank you very much for gracing this occasion. Thank you very much. I see Professor Monique Wasuna from DNDI, also a very long-term collaborator, and still part of KEMRI, actually. I have seen also Professor Chingo from Nagasaki University. Thank you very much for gracing this occasion. May I take this opportunity to welcome all of you to the 12th KEMRI Annual Scientific and Health Conference that begins today up to Friday this week. It is indeed an exciting moment for KEMRI to host a hybrid conference, which consists of 80% physical attendance and 20% virtual attendance. And this is, of course, a considerable improvement from last year when we held a fully virtual conference. So today we witness a memorable occasion where we will be launching two of our very own kits developed by KEMRI research scientists as a malaria rapid diagnostic kit. And then also we are launching the COVID-19 PCR kit, also developed by KEMRI scientists. Thirdly, we will also be receiving the ISO certification that we successfully went through. Our guest of honor, Dr. Rashid Amani. The KASH conference is a forum that serves to promote health science through dialogue and exchange of ideas and data among scientists, health practitioners, and our development and research partners. And we anticipate during this week, we'll be able to have at least 500 participants coming either to listen or to participate in exchanging data and ideas through research. I'm equally excited to report that the theme for this conference, which is building a resilient health sector through investments in data science, research evidence, technology, and innovations. It's worth noting that we have among these several sub-themes, and most of these cover the whole spectrum of public health challenges that we face as a country. So, ladies and gentlemen, the KASH conference is a special event in our institute's calendar, and we are honored to have very, very special guests joining this conference today and this week. I would also like to take this opportunity particularly to thank my colleagues at the KASH Organizing Committee, led by Dr. Cecilia Mbaye, and her other committee members who have worked tirelessly, actually from all the way from last year in June, working every other week to be able to bring this particular conference to where we are this day. Despite the challenges that we have faced as a country, of course, being ravaged by the current COVID-19 pandemic, this committee has done an exemplary job, and we really wish to again commend them one more time. Thank you also to Professor Charles Mbogo, the past chair of KASH. Professor Mbogo, please be upstanding. Thank you to our former chair. He has led the KASH conference committee for the last 6 years and done a commendable job. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the 12th KASH conference is a forum for dissemination of research findings and networking for young scientists, but also even for the more experienced researchers. The official launching of the 2 products that we are launching today, that is the Malaria Rapid Test Kit and the COVID-19 PCR kit, are, of course, testimony to the very, very hard work that's been done by our scientists right in Cambridge, with the support from our parent ministry, the Ministry of Health. And at this stage, I wish to particularly thank the Ministry of Health through our chief guest here, Dr. Amani. Thank you very much for the support that we have continued to receive from the Ministry of Health, and even for the challenge that has been thrown at us at Cambridge to be able to come in and face the challenges in terms of developing products that answer to the challenges in public health. Finally, allow me to take this opportunity to also thank sincerely the Cambridge Board of Directors, led by our board chair, Dr. Daniel Mbinda, because the board has particularly been very, very supportive in our efforts to improve science and research at Cambridge by being able to provide more resources and encouragement as we went along the path of developing these products. I thank all the participants of this conference, particularly our partners and collaborators who have supported us doing most of this work that's being presented here today. And finally, to the government of Kenya through the Ministry of Health for the moral and financial support throughout the last financial year. I truly believe that this conference will provide each of us a forum to be able to learn something new, but also to share something that you have in our bid in making health much better for our citizens in Kenya. God bless you. God bless you all for this conference. Thank you. So my sincere pleasure now to invite the chair of the Scientific Research and Innovations Committee of the board, Dr. Njoroge George, to come and say 1 or 2 remarks, and then he'll invite the chair of the board, Dr. Daniel Mbinda, who will give his remarks. Karibu sana.
Good morning, everyone. As you heard, my name is Dr. George Njoroge. I'm the chair of the SLEEC committee, which is the Scientific Research and Innovation Committee, which is hosting KASH. And so it's appropriate that I come and greet you. And we are very, very excited as a research institution to have all of you here, both physically as well as virtually. We are living in a very, very exciting time. I just joined Cambridge not too long ago. I've been in the US for the last 40 years, and I'm happy to be back in our country to make things happen, especially in the health area. So it's my pleasure, and we thank that our leadership. We are happy and thankful to have our CAS, Dr. Rashid Amani, our board of the chair of the board, and the board members and DG. And it's my pleasure when I see the scientific fraternity gathering together. I've seen these meetings in US in places like Hawaii or California, but I'm excited that we are holding them here in Kenya to deliberate issues that concern our health, because health is also a national security issue. And the fact that now we are living in an age where technology, genetic engineering, bioinformatics, all this have come into being, we are now at the cutting edge of science, and I'm happy that we are coming to deliberate those issues so that we can get information, but we will be policy informed to our leadership, and as well as discover new medicine. So I hope in the next few days, you will all be like sponges, trying to absorb a lot of stuff that's coming on your way, and at the same time, try to utilize that material to move us forward to a higher level, especially in the medical research areas that will benefit the common mwananchi. It is my pleasure now to invite our very able chair, who is gonna take KEMRI, and the country for that matter, because KEMRI is a premier research institute, take the whole country to a higher level in terms of research and discovery. Thank you very much. Welcome, Chair.
Thank you, George. I always tell you to forget you are in US for 40 years. Not to forget what you did, but to be an example of the diaspora resources that we have. It is immense. We have the diaspora potential for this country is probably larger than what we have. And being a member of the board, he has spearheaded that diaspora potential into KEMRI, and we want more of that. Of course, we'll be hearing more from him when he gives us the keynote address. So our chief guests are the Chief Administrative Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Rashid Amani, the Board of Directors present today, the Director General, the directors of KEMRI, and the staff who are here, our very committed partners who have been introduced, the speakers, keynote and plenary speakers in this important event, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Amuchangamuki. This is the only joy we have after the beating of COVID. Amujambo. Dio tuchangamuki. Before I make a few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Administrative Secretary, I want to introduce to you the Board of Directors who are here with us today. We have a total of 9, but those who are represented today, I'll start from my far left, Dr. Rebecca Kiptui. Dr. Rebecca Kiptui is the Ministry of Health representative, representing the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, and we are happy to have. Madam Kanini Ndiga represents the Honorable Attorney General. She is a senior counsel. And Madam Mastella Kahindi is the chair of the audit committee of our board. She is a banker by profession. We are delighted to have her with us. And notably, from my very left side on the table is Ambassador Wenwa, Akinyi Wenwa. Balozi, as we often refer to her, is the oldest member of the board, having been in the previous board and now is with us. So is our resource person in terms of time. And then last and not the least is Dr. George Njoroge, who has already been introduced and spoken. So, sir, ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity to once again, on behalf of the board of directors, welcome you to this full house. I'm told that this is the largest crowd we have had. And I'm also reliably informed that 30% of this crowd is virtual and with us today. We are happy that they are virtual because we don't seem to have space for another 30% in this hall. And that's the way to go. Considering that we are still within the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, this is very remarkable. And we're really happy that the attendance is this good. I'm also told that we are represented from all the institutes of KEMRI across the country. And this is very good news. We have taken advantage of KASH, the 12th KEMRI Annual Scientific and Health Conference, also to launch the kits the DG has mentioned. We as a board feel part of it, although we came at the tail end of their development. We must associate ourselves with that and hope to give a new energy to that effort. Let me congratulate the more than 192 participants or speakers whose abstracts have been accepted for presentation in this conference. It is not easy to come up with a paper to be presented at this level in a conference like this. So we look forward to your presentations as a board, where we are working very closely with the management of KEMRI. The success of this conference is a testimony that the KEMRI fraternity has to continue to grow in research and development portfolio as well as service delivery. I must stress that service delivery in this era of healthcare is very important. And we know what we have done even during the pandemic. Initially, 70% of the tests COVID-19 was done by KEMRI in the initial stages and up to very recently, when the country has been building capacity for testing the counties, KEMRI came in very handy as a national resource in this. Imagine a situation when if KEMRI was not there. So service delivery is the primary thing that the citizen of the country requires. They may not care so much what we do in our laboratories, but they care so much about what we give them in return for what they give us as an opportunity and as an employment. So KEMRI, sir, has come in very handy in service delivery in healthcare in this country. The theme of this conference is building a resilient health sector through investment in data science, research evidence, technology, and innovations. This has been said, but I needed to say it again. But more importantly, to stress the last two words to this conference: technology and innovation. Research, technology, and innovation. Those are our products: innovation, technology, and innovation. As the country develops, we need to position ourselves as KEMRI to sell our products. We know what we do behind the doors, in places not accessible to many. But out of that comes technology and products. We must look at how we sell our products, particularly innovation. But because we are not specialists in this area, we need to partner more outside our gates with the industry and sell our products like the rest of the world. Today, the CS is commissioning or launching 2 products here. Very soon, they may become obsolete. They may not be useful to the country and to us if we don't quickly look into selling that science. We so much invested with our partners. With so much energy we put into it, we need to get the returns from them. I challenge you all and those concerned, particularly the management, to look into this area where we need to partner with the industry and sell our products and get returns for KEMRI, for the Ministry of Health, and for the country in general. I am humbled by the gains we have made since KASH conference started 12 years ago. This is remarkable, and look forward to the future with more confidence and conviction that we can only do better, both as an institute and as a conference. The resolutions from this conference will no doubt provide solutions for various health challenges we face today. We don't know what comes tomorrow, so we must position ourselves for what may come in health, particularly the new and emerging infections and diseases in general, because it is only us that will be looked upon to respond to that which may come. In this way, we need to partner with our local and international more. Although we are the leader in healthcare research in this country, we do not have the monopoly of science related to healthcare. And while we do not have the monopoly and we are the leaders, we also have a duty to put all our resources together so that we are able to maximize cost effectively the resources within the country. We are happy that the government and our partners have been funding us to do what we must do. But the government and partners also fund other institutions and individuals within the country, outside KEMRI, in health, in academia, in the animal world, and science, basic science, transcends all this. What is happening in the animal world? Is it in Carol, Hillary, Kefe Papi, in terms of vaccine development? That is so relevant to us. So we need to put our efforts together because these are our national resources. More recently, we have all heard the efforts of the government in coming up with a new vaccine or with a vaccine for COVID-19, a local solution. We have heard the pronouncements and the deadlines given by no other than the head of state that we must come up with a local solution, not only for COVID-19, but also for other vaccines as the country moves towards disengaging with the previous arrangements or the current arrangements of vaccine production. And we have also been a witness to the commissioning or the inauguration of an effort called the Kenya Biovax Institute. This is a baby of KEMRI, which the DG has not mentioned. And we nurtured that baby until they stood alone. And now they have a board and they are coming up with the management of the Kenya Biovax Institute. But we as KEMRI and the rest of the country remain the ones to support technologically this institute and its board. And therefore we have a big national duty to work towards, again, innovation, science and innovation towards that. So wherever you are, in which area you may be in KEMRI and your partners, look very closely into that. And therefore we thank the government of Kenya as KEMRI, sir, through the Ministry of Health, which is represented here by our chief guests, for the invaluable support, not only for this conference, but for other activities within KEMRI. We do value that. And we are happy that the ministry is well represented in KEMRI and the board. Similarly, we want to once again thank our partners whom we have been working with for the immeasurable support in that partnership. The board of directors were here. We thank you for being here today. And the DG again, and the staff for the support you have given us as a new board. We don't feel any new anymore, although we have not completed a year. So we do value the support of the management and the staff wherever we meet in the institutes, in the stations, in the regions, and at the headquarters. Finally, I want to once again thank the organizing committee led by Dr. Cecilia Bae for making it happen the way it has happened this morning. Not to forget the first or the past chairman who is here and has been introduced. And also, I must once again recognize the presence of the past chair, Dr. Wasuna, with us here today. And therefore, thank you very much all. That's all I have to say. It's so nice. I wish I could stand for longer and enjoy this very nice venue. Waswahili wanasema mkiona chaelea, chaelea, chaundwa. Thank you very much, organizing committee. God bless you. Have a nice day. So thank you very much. I didn't expect a club because one, I didn't think I said anything important. Secondly, from the background I come from, we don't clap for speakers. You may wonder which this is, but we appreciate them in a different way. Thank you very much for that. It reminds me of many days ago. It is now my very humble honor to invite our chief guest, no other than the Chief Administrative Secretary, Minister of Health, Dr. Rashid Amani, who has been a colleague in public service for so many years in the ministry and around the Ministry of Health. We thank you, sir, for being with us today. Please welcome.
Thank you very much, Chair. It's indeed a great pleasure to be here and a pleasure to see that once again, the scientific community can come together physically to conduct their business of sharing knowledge and ideas as we're doing here today. Let me begin by conveying to you the apologies of the Cabinet Secretary, who's not able to be here with us. He's traveled out of the country, but he sends you his greetings and wishes you well during your deliberations in this conference. The Chairman, KEMRI Board of Directors, Dr. Daniel Mbinda, KEMRI Board of Directors present, the Acting Director General of KEMRI, Professor Sam Kariuki, the Chairperson and her team of the KASH Conference Organizing Committee, all the key plenary speakers, KEMRI senior management and staff present, distinguished scientists and participants, including those joining us online, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning once again. That's better. I'm extremely delighted to be with you this morning for the official opening of this 12th KEMRI Annual Scientific and Health Conference. I am particularly excited myself personally because I think most of you know that I am a scientist by background and that matters research, and particularly in health, interest me a great deal. In this session this morning, I'm privileged to be able to conduct two functions. One is to officially open this conference, and two is to launch the products that KEMRI has innovated. These, as well as launching the certificate of attainment of the ISO 9001-2015 by KEMRI. So those are the duties that I will perform with you today. But from the outset, allow me to sincerely thank the KEMRI management for successfully organizing this important annual conference, now in its 12th year running. It is equally gratifying to note that this conference has attracted more than 500 participants, more than 80% of them joining us physically, and the other 20% virtually, both from within the country and outside. And I want to take this opportunity to commend KEMRI for having played a pivotal role in supporting the government's efforts right from the first case of COVID-19 that was reported in March of 2020. To date, where it continues to support the ministry and country in critical areas such as its work on the surveillance and genomic sequencing, which has provided policy recommendations that continue to shape government decisions in the our response and containment of the pandemic. And I think indeed that is what an institution such as KEMRI was set up to do. As a research institution, and as its premier national research institution, the government of Kenya has made great investments in this institution over the years. These investments have not been in vain. It takes time to develop research. It takes time to develop that critical mass required to generate research data and to move along the pathway that the chair has elaborated here greatly, that research must lead to something. It must lead into innovation. It must lead into products that become commercialized. It must lead into services that become available in the health sector. So these investments, we believe, are now beginning to pay some level of dividends. In addition, I'm delighted to note that KEMRI played a key role in clinical trials for malaria and cervical cancer vaccines that were launched last year. And I should also mention the role that KEMRI has played lately in charting the country's initiative of establishing local manufacturing of vaccines, not only COVID-19 vaccine, but all the other primary vaccines as well. And I think the chair touched on that. I'm also informed that this conference has attracted 192 abstracts, a majority addressing our current health challenges, especially the COVID-19 pandemic. And these will include refreshing keynote speeches, plenary sessions, at least 5 symposia and 25 scientific sessions. The KASH conference is now in its 12th year. And I think it's a good forum to get together and to reflect and to see what we have attained over the years. But I want to challenge KEMRI to take it a notch higher and begin to look at being a lead in organizing and hosting international conferences within the country on thematic areas. As we come through this pandemic, I must say that there is ample political goodwill and belief in what science can do. We have seen what science can do. We have seen governments turn around, governments that before would not pay a great deal of attention to science and technology, now turn around and focus and support science and technology within their countries. We have seen what it means, the need for us to be self-sufficient in production of products that we use in healthcare. And I think we should exploit that goodwill because it's not going to last forever. I can tell you that as this pandemic fades away, and I hope it is fading away, that we may lose attention there, and that window of opportunity might close. So my challenge to KEMRI is take advantage of that window of opportunity, position yourself so that you can continue to be a lead player in this area. I'm informed that this conference, I think I said that, as a ministry, we are delighted when great minds come together to discuss health issues, and particularly on how we can deal with pandemics such as the one we are currently in. The pandemic has taught us that in unity we can succeed. And I think that applies in everything that we do. KEMRI as a research institution must reach out and work with others. If we are to develop a research culture in this country, we require KEMRI to reach out and work with academia. We must develop and inculcate research in academia. We will not move far if we don't have that base of research and development in academia. And I think KEMRI is well placed to do that. Yes, we do have some research going on in our universities and so on, but not enough, I believe. And I think we need to broaden that base, and KEMRI can play a strong role in that area. I'm happy to note that our research capacity has greatly improved. And I'm confident that as a government, we will continue to support KEMRI to ensure that we effectively and swiftly deal with future pandemics and any other health threats that may come by. It is also equally gratifying for me to officiate in commissioning of 2 research products or innovations, namely the Malaria Rapid Diagnostic Kit, branded Plasmo-Check, and the PCR COVID-19 testing kit, branded ChemCov PCR, both of which were developed by our own distinguished scientists at KEMRI. These 2 kits, I'm sure, will go a long way in improving malaria diagnostics and COVID-19 disease detection, which remain our foremost health challenges, not just in Kenya, but globally. And I do hope that these products that locally produced by KEMRI are of highest standard possible, have been validated, and that we can use them. If you look at the number of tests that we have done during this COVID period, which is still below the 1% required by WHO, but I believe we have done well over 3 million, running almost to 4 million tests. Those of you who are in this field know how costly these tests are, especially the PCR test. I do hope that this product of KEMRI will be able to outcompete the other products in the market by its costing and its quality. And in that way, we can guarantee that the ministry will still be able to utilize that. I want to congratulate the team and leadership for having taken up the challenge by His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta to come up with solutions to our local problems. These two products, I think, are testament to the fact that KEMRI has taken up this challenge and realized some products. I want to assure you all that my ministry will support KEMRI with not only the continued production of these kits, but will also be the main consumer of these products to ensure continuous research and improvement now and in the future. And again, I want to stress that we must make sure that these products are of the highest possible standard and quality. Ladies and gentlemen, these innovations that we shall commission shortly are true demonstration of the KEMRI spirit. I understand that KASH is a forum that serves to promote health science through dialogue and exchange among scientists, health practitioners, development partners, and policymakers, and that its findings, conclusions, and recommendations directly contribute to the national discourse on not just managing pandemics, but also a reflection on our universal health coverage journey, among other key developments. I challenge you as the KEMRI fraternity to do more in other areas of research to address the many health challenges we face in Kenya. And I think by partnering with others, I know that we have over the years developed strong collaborative links with many partners, some of whom are here with us today. You also do work, and I once again encourage you to extend your collaborations with our academic institutions and the training of our young people to create those critical mass of people that we need to move our country technologically ahead. Let this year's theme of building a resilient health sector through investments in data science, research evidence, technology, and innovation be a new beginning for us in the health sector. We all know that the true test of research is whether people use it, either for reference, for influence, but most importantly, for change that improves our lives. And I look forward to robust discussions that result in solutions that are not just timely, but responsive and result-oriented to our current realities in our health systems. It is now my honor and pleasure to declare this 12th KASH conference officially open. That is duty number one. Duty number two, it is now my pleasure and honor to commission the two research products, ChemCove PCR kit COVID-19, Plasmocheck RDT kit for malaria, and thirdly, the ISO 901:2015 certification, which I am advised, I've seen the podium there, that there will be some form of ceremony. I will be guided on that launch. Right. So thank you all, and I wish you the best in these 3 days of deliberation.
Thank you. Thank you very much, our chief guest. Our chair of the board of directors say that where he comes from, or where he came from, is no clapping. But where he has come to, there is clapping. Say when you go to Rome, you have to do what the Romans do. So I want us to do what we call a factorial clap to our chief guest. You all know what a factorial clap is? Good. So we are get ready. We want to do 5 factorial claps. And thank our chief guest for coming, opening our ceremony, and launching our kits. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1. Thank you very much. Our chief guest, our second, we now move into the next stage, even though you have already mentioned it. And this is the launching of the kits. And also the ISO certification. This particular kits you're going to launch has been a tradition, as you have said, and the chairs well mentioned, of KEMRI in terms of innovation. These are not the first ones. You have had a long tradition from hepatitis kits, such as Hep cell, HIV, Rift Valley fever kits, yellow fever, and even we are now working also on Leishmania kit. But this one is the key one that we have for us today. And before we ask you or request you to launch these kits, we just want to know, what are these kits? What are they all about? So we're going to listen to a presentation from the innovators themselves of this kit. We are also going to listen to a presentation on ISO before you even give the certificate. So I would like to request our experts. First presentation will come from Dr. Damaris Matoke. She will give us an overview of the COVID kit and the malaria kit. Then the second one will be from Dr. Wanjala. As the chair said it very well, and our chief guest, these are things that we develop. We want to see them in the market. Dr. Wanjala is our commercial manager, and he's the one going to tell us how we are moving these particular innovations to the market. So I will request Dr. Matoke to please take in and give us your presentation. I think our guests who are in front, you could be able to watch on the screen in front of you, and the others, you could be able to see the other screens on the sides. Thank you. Very good, Damas.
All protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm just going to give a quick overview of the 2 kits. That's the PCR real-time COVID testing kit and also the malaria kit. So I'm Dr. Damaris Matoke Moher, and I'll be presenting this together with Dr. Cecilia Wanjala. But before I start, I'd like to invite the team that was behind the development of this kit to just stand and wave. Kindly, team. Yes. So I'm not alone in development of this. That's the team, and there are many others who are not here. So quickly, today we are not simply launching the 2 new kits for screening of COVID-19 and malaria. Even more important is the tremendous steps that these products represent in translating research outputs into homegrown solutions for our domestic and exports. Next. Today, we are seeing the fruits of investing in research that results in saving lives of our patients, creating jobs through local value chains, and contributing to the government's tax base. Next. In short, chief guest and invited guests, KEMRI is on our way as an institution in contributing to the Kenya Vision 2030, the Big Four agenda, and transforming Kenya into an industrialized middle-income nation whose citizens enjoy high-quality life. So speaking to the kids, next. The first kit that we are presenting here is a COVID-19 real-time PCR kit. We've named this kit ChemCov-19. The kit is an innovation in KEMRI developed by our own scientists. And the kit has been tested in various laboratories in KEMRI and outside, and has been found to be 100% sensitive and 100% specific. What does this mean? It means that the kit is able to identify a true negative and a true positive, which is a great step. Next. For the malaria kit, this kit, or we've called it Plasmocheck, and it's able to screen Plasmodium, which are the malaria parasites that cause malaria infections. And this kit, we also produced it at KEMRI. It's an antigen testing kit. And this has been invented through the various research activities that we've done at the Institute. And it's able to be used by even the local communities. It doesn't need training, and it doesn't need skilled labor. Therefore, it's going to increase the ability to screen and be able to identify malaria patients at community, even at health facility levels. The kit has been identified also to be 100% sensitive, and it's also 100% specific. Thank you. Next. The other milestone that we have achieved on these two kits is that they have received registration by the Pharmacy and Poisons Board, which is a great milestone. Therefore, the kit is available right now. People can procure, and also it can be used right now in our health facilities at the various pharmacies, and it's available to be used at national level. Next. So at that point, I call my colleague, Dr. Wanjala, to proceed. Thank you.
All protocols observed. My name is Dr. Cecilia Wanjala, and I stand here to say that at the Commercial Enterprises Department, we have an elaborate marketing strategy that is going to put ChemCov PCR kit and Plasmocheck kit into the market. We are targeting not only the local market, but also the regional and also the continental market. We aspire to save this country in excess of 58 million shillings annually on malaria testing, and also 405 million shillings on COVID testing. Through these kits and through our launch and also through our marketing attempts, we are going to increase prompt diagnosis of COVID-19 and malaria, and this will be a big step towards the attainment of UHC. I want to say here that we have an intention to do value addition on the kit, to be able to use it at the community level. The community health workers will be able to use our kit more efficiently. We shall have a package that targets them so that we can have a better consumption of the kit, and also to make it easier for them to use. By doing this, we are going to also increase local manufacturing. We are creating jobs, because it is not only the kit, there are other enterprises that are involved as we do value addition. As I said earlier, we are going to expand into the regional and continental market, and the proceeds that come through these products will be used to strengthen the local research, development, and innovation. And we hope to be able in future to get groundbreaking results that help us to develop more health products and health technologies. Next slide. I want to acknowledge the support that we have got from the Ministry of Health. And I also want to acknowledge the affirmation by our chief guest that they will continue to consume our kit because that is our big market. I also take this opportunity to thank KEMRI management and the board for the support they have been giving us as we try to develop products. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Matoke and Dr. Wanjala, for giving us an overview of those particular kits that we're going to learn today. Now, let me recognize the presence of Kyoko Ndolo, East African Business Manager of SGS. This is a team that has been working with us on the issue of quality. Quality in our processes, quality on technologies, and quality on people, so that for us to be able to produce what we are producing, we are actually towards particular standards which are internationally known. So the ISO is the particular hallmark of all our activities. And I'll want to right now invite Patung Mutinda to be able to give us a short presentation about the ISO process in KEMRI before we do the issue of the handing over of the certificate. Karibu.
All protocols observed. It is with much pleasure this morning to welcome all of you to this ceremony where we receive with elation ISO 9001-2015 certificate. The scope of this certification is improving the quality of human health through research, innovation, capacity building, and service delivery. ISO 9001 is a certification standard which sets out the requirements for a quality management system that enables businesses and organizations to be more efficient, improve stakeholder satisfaction, and meet regulatory and statutory requirements. The adoption of quality management system is a deliberate and strategic initiative by KEMRI management with a view of improving the Institute's overall performance in executing its mandate. ISO 9001 certification journey in KEMRI started in 2009 with the establishment of the Quality Management Office, appointment of the steering committee, appointment of ISO champions, as well as the management representative. KEMRI first got ISO certified in this particular standard in the year 2013. Following the expiry of the last certificate that was based on the revised standard, that is ISO 9001-2015 standard in 2021, the Institute underwent one internal audit and two external audits that was done by the certification body SGS, which is an international certification body. Our chief guest, I'm delighted to inform you that the audit of our processes returned a more than satisfactory outcome that qualified us to attain ISO 9001-2015 certification within a period of 6 months. This short lead time is largely attributed to the maturity of the Institute's quality management system. Implementation of quality management systems has significantly contributed to the achievement of the Institute's strategic objectives and goals, which are embodied in the 5-year strategic plan. Other benefits include identification of institute stakeholders and understanding their needs and expectations. It is from this that we have been able to come up with the tailor-made products that we are launching today. Other benefits for this certification include improved image locally, internationally, and also regionally. It has also led to increased efficiency and effectiveness of processes within the institute, and as sustainable business processes, as it has been demonstrated by the head of commercial services. Ladies and gentlemen, ISO 9001 certification is the bedrock of many other management systems that KEMRI is certified on. These include proficiency testing standard, the medical laboratory, which is certified for most of our laboratories, good clinical laboratory practices, GSCLP, risk management standard, certification of American pathologists, the CAP, medical devices, ISO 13485. The Institute is also at an advanced stage of seeking other certifications, such as the Information Security Management System, ISMS, and knowledge management. Our chief guest, the Institute is in the process of establishing an enterprise-wide risk framework, a strategic approach that is also in line with the requirements of the QMS. The Institute management have also invested in automation of compliance processes, which not only help in offering services, but also gives greater access to information by customers. It also leads to higher performance and improvement of decision-making. Join me in congratulating the Board of Directors, management, and staff of KEMRI for ably implementing and maintaining ISO 9001 standard for the last 10 years. Finally, our chief guest, I wish to introduce the team that has been driving this process. We have a lean team from the Quality Assurance and Risk Management Department, if they can stand up. There's a lean team. Also, we have thank you. We also have a pool of quality assurance officers drawn from all KEMRI centers and departments. Can they also stand up? Quality assurance officers, there are many of them. We also have ISO leads for the various standards, ISMS, knowledge management. If you can stand up for the labs, the lead people, Mr. Manson, Dr. Kimodo, all the leads for the various standards. May you stand up, please? There are many of them. Knowledge management. Thank you. Thank you, our chief guest.
Thank you very much, Patrick, for the presentation. Now, chief guest, it's my honor right now to call upon the SGS, East African Business Manager and Knowledge Solutions, Mr. Kioko Ndolo, to give his remarks and present to our Director General the ISO certificate. Welcome, Kioko.
Thank you, Prof, for your kind invitation. Good morning, the chief guests, the board, chairman of the board, directors, government representatives, chairman of KASH, management representatives, and your team, management and staff, all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of SGS Kenya, I would like to recognize and thank the Kenya Medical Research Institute for inviting us here in this auspicious occasion of your ISO certification achievement. And this is no mean feat. And you have heard it from the earlier speaker that you have been certified for the last 10 years, which I think is a very consistent and notable fact. So we want to thank you again for this achievement. And SGS indeed does congratulate you for having undergone these rigorous audits and successfully attaining the certification of the ISO 9001:2015 standard. You now join a number of organizations all over the globe that meet this standard. First, also, I would like to single out the team that was involved in ensuring that the management system continues to meet the requirements of the standard. The ISO teams that have been displayed here in terms of they have stood up for recognition. And thank you because I know your efforts, without your efforts, this would not have happened. And I want to thank also the leadership of KEMRI, starting from the chair, and the DG and the rest, for supporting this team to deliver this. The new ISO 9001 is better aligned with the evolving environment and the context in which organizations operate. Organizations now have to adopt the risk-based thinking approach in their processes and decision-making. The leadership is also required to be more involved in the implementation and maintenance of management systems. And we are certainly committed to work together with you throughout the transition process. And we want to thank you for choosing to work with SGS. SGS has been operating since 1878 globally. We have over 68 years presence in Kenya, and we have over 2,400 offices all over the place with 96,000 employees. And we are indeed very, very happy to work with KEMRI in order to deliver and to maintain your ISO certification. So with these few remarks, Chief Guest and the leadership of KEMRI, allow me also to hand over the certificate to the Chief Guest and to the team. Let me just state the scope of the certificate is improving the quality of human health through research capacity building, innovation, and service delivery, covering multiple sites. So well done, KEMRI. You have done very well, and we are very proud of you.
Sorry, your remark? Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Chief Guest and the Chair. I think it's my pleasure right now to invite our DG to now follow up the next stage of launching our kits. DG, please welcome.
Thank you very much, Professor Songok. Very able MC. I see what you do now as a side hustle. And so my great pleasure now to really ask our chief guest, CAS Dr. Mani. He's already got a tutorial regarding how to start the funfair. It's a big day for KEMRI. It's a huge day for KEMRI. And we wish to celebrate these achievements. Mr. James?
So I would like us to count down from 5 to 1, so that then the chief guest can begin. So let's go together, all of us. 5, 4, 3, 1, 0. Sorry, just a second. What has gone to your eye? Yeah, thank you. So, Mr. Chair, will also request that the chief guest cuts a cake, leads us in the cutting of the cake that is just being brought. It will be brought right there. Yes. And Dr. Manduku here. So the chief guest just in front of you is, we are celebrating the 12th KASH conference. We want to welcome you just to grace this occasion again. Welcome with the chair and supported by our CEO, Dr. Cecilia can also come. Yes. Kyoko can be here. Give her a towel. Yeah, you come close by the board of management. You're all part of this. And I didn't want to forget our partners. Come. Just can come. Our two partners that have come here, they'll just be on the side. And as we all look and want to celebrate and enjoy the cake, you're part of the, thank you. She's coming, she's coming. She's coming, Dr. Asuna. Thank you, thank you. That, yeah, I think those can do. So you can cut, let's have the band, we can sing for them. We want to celebrate. I know that it's not a happy birthday, it's a happy celebration to KEMRI, 12th KASH conference. You can, yes, you're doing well. Good, good. Let's give them a hand of applause. Let's give them a hand of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'll assist you just a little more.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're now coming to the closing part of our session or our ceremony. And the next 2 or 3 items that we want to give a presentation to our chief guest. The first one, then afterwards we'll have a vote of thanks and then our closing prayer. So I will request the chair of the committee come and give the presentation. Probably you can come with your cake to your sitting space. You can continue so you can be able to conclude this session. Okay, our chief guest. Okay, sorry, we may have to just interrupt your cake and maybe present to you our present. Please. Thank you very much, KASH Chair. I think it's my pleasure now to invite Doris Njomo, Dr. Doris Njomo, to give a vote of thanks. Karibu, Doris.
So our chief guest, Chief Administrative Secretary, Dr. Rashid Aman. Sorry. Chair, KEMRI Board of Directors, Dr. Daniel Binder. Acting Director General KEMRI, Professor Sam Kariuki. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good afternoon, good morning. Allow me, on behalf of the Acting Director General KEMRI and the KASH 12 Organizing Committee, to give a vote of thanks to all those who have made the launching of the KEMRI products and the official opening of the KASH 12 conference event a success. To our chief guest, we are greatly honored to have you grace the occasion of the launch of the two KEMRI products, that is the COVID PCR kit and the malaria RDT kit, as well as the ISO 9001:2015 certification. Your words of wisdom, Daktari, are encouraging to us as members of this premier research institute. We will continue to work hard to steer KEMRI to greater heights. You have challenges, and we wish you God's blessings as we promise to work hard. A big thank you to our chair, KEMRI Board of Directors, for your great remarks, and the members of the board here present, as well as the chair of the SRIC, Dr. Njoroge, for your unwavering support to KEMRI's activities for the improvement of human health and quality of life of Kenyans and of those in the region and beyond. We ask God to continue guiding every step that you make. Thank you, our Director General. Your support in all activities and preparations towards making this day a success has been very encouraging and motivating. May God continue protecting you. To our colleagues, Doctors Matoke Muhia and Cecilia Wanjala and team, thank you for the innovations. We are proud, and we are part of it actually, and this is in support of our mission and vision. May God bless you. To the SGS team and Mr. Mutinda and his team, the ISO team, it's been a journey, and we promise we shall continue moving on with you. Asanteni sana. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot forget to acknowledge our partners and collaborators for their continued support, either financially or in kind, towards the realization of the mission and vision of KEMRI. Receive our sincere gratitude. To all KEMRI scientific, technical, and corporate services staff, your presence virtually and in person during this very important occasion is much appreciated. Let us keep on keeping on. To the Safari Park Hotel Management, thank you once again for hosting us this year. We know that we can always count on you. We thank you that you are able to host us, you are able to feed us, and we have always enjoyed your meals. May the work of your hands remain blessed. To the members of the Fourth Estate, that's the media team. We have several media teams. I'm told it's important to acknowledge each one of them: the Royal Media Group, Nation Media Group, Standard Media Group, K24, KUTV, NTV, KBC TV, Capital FM, CGNT, Xinhua, and all freelance journalists, The Star and the People Daily. Asanteni sana for ensuring that the event is captured for publicity. To the band, the Kenya Police Band, we have always enjoyed your music. We were actually looking forward. You have kept us very entertained. Asanteni sana na mbarikiwe. Above all, we thank the Almighty God for showering us with many blessings, which include the abilities that we have, the skills, the talents, and the capacity to conduct high impact research and with useful results. We are in good health. We cannot take that for granted, bearing in the times that we have been in. We have safe working environment, and we appreciate and thank God for peace and stability in our great country, Kenya. Let us remember to keep our face masks on, sanitize our hands, and maintain social distance. I thank you all. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Doris. Yeah, before we do the closing prayer, Chief Guest, is just some announcements. Is that after the closing prayer, we'll request a photo session. That photo session, just our Chief Guest and the Board of Directors and the KASH Organizing Committee will go to the pool for a photo session. Yeah, the rest of us will go for lunch, but before we go for lunch, you will pick a card, a line card at where you registered. The place you're going for lunch is at the Nyoma Choma Ranch. Remember, Nyoma Choma Ranch is where we are going for lunch. But for our chief guest, the board of directors and KEXCOM members, our lunch is at La Piazzetta. That is an Italian restaurant. Plus also our partners, that is where we'll be having the lunch. So remember La Piazzetta for our chief guests, board of management, board of directors, together with our partners. The rest of us, let's get to the Nyoma Choma Ranch. So we'll go for a photo session immediately after this. And that's only for the members of the chief guests and the members of the board of directors. So the rest will be able to proceed. Pick your card, then straight to the place of lunch. So let me now request yes, and then sorry, continue registration for the conference. It's ongoing. Continue doing the registrations because we start the main process tomorrow. So please don't leave before registering. Yeah, so it's ongoing at the same place you're going to pick your card. So let me request, my pleasure, my chief guest, request Dr. Luna Kamau, our director of Center for Biotechnology Research, where those kits were being made, to be able to close for us the word of prayer. Very good.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let us stand for the closing prayer. So I'm reading from Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 21. Many are the plans in the heart of a person, but it is the purpose of the Lord that prevails. So let us pray. Heavenly Father, indeed, this is a day that you've created since the foundations of the earth, and that you have allowed us to see. And indeed, you placed many plans in our hearts, plans towards this day, plans for the conference, plans for the preparation of the kits, And we thank you that it has come to fruition according to your perfect will. We therefore thank you and glorify your name for every effort that went behind the success of this day. And we continue committing ourselves as individuals and as an institute into your hands. We ask that you will be able to enable us to meet the purposes that you have placed in our hearts, the purposes to improve the health of human beings. And even as we look forward to the coming days of the conference, we invite you to our presence as we continue to deliberate and bring to action some of the thoughts that you have placed in our hands. As we depart from this place, we ask you to go with us, bless us, and keep us safe. In Jesus' holy name, we believe and pray. Amen.
Thank you. So we are now free. You can now leave for lunch. And our distinguished guest, please just get to the photo session. James Rivera is going to be the one to lead us on the photo session to give us the directions where we are going to go next.